entitled to the halo of martyrdom with no less glory than that of the martyrs of any other race. Africa's produced countless numbers of men and women in war and peace whose luster and bravery outshine that of any other people. Then why not see good and perfection in ourselves? God made man Lord of his creation, gave him possession and ownership of the world. And you have been so darned lazy that they've allowed the other fellow to run away with the whole world, and now he's bluffing you and tell you that the world belongs to him and that you have no part in it. I don't have to apologize to anybody for being black, because God Almighty knew exactly what he was doing when he made me black. You race of cowards, you race of imbeciles, you race of good-for-nothings. If you cannot do what other men have done, what other races have done, what other nations have done, then you had better die. Can we do it? We can do it. There's any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Let me say that again. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we decided to find a leadership of our own to make ourselves free men. Babylon did it. Assyria did it. France under Napoleon did it. Germany under Prince von Bismarck did it. Britain under William Pitt Earl of Chatham did it. America under George Washington did it. Africa with 400 million black people can do it. Because when the history of my suffering is complete, future generations shall have in their hands the guide by which they shall know the sins of the 20th century. I know, and I know you too believe in time, but we shall wait patiently for 200 years if need be to face our enemies through our posterity. After my enemies are satisfied, in life or death I shall come back to serve even as I served before. In life I shall be the same, in death I shall be a terror to the foes of African liberty. The need to be the real Marcus Garvey I would like to be. If I may come in an earthquake or a cyclone or a plague or pestilence or as God would have me, then be assured that I shall never desert you and make your enemies triumph over you. If I should die in prison in Atlanta, my work shall not only just begin, but I shall live in the physical or the spiritual to see the day of Africa's glory. When I am dead, wrap the mantle of the red, the black and the green around me. For in the new life I shall rise up with God's grace and blessings to lead the millions up the heights of triumph in the colors that you well know. Look for me in the world when there is a storm. Look for me all around you. For I shall come back and bring with me countless millions of black slaves who have died in America, who have died in the West Indies, and millions who have died in Africa to aid you in the fight for liberty, freedom, and life. The world today has gone drunk and crazy with its power, and by such through injustice, fraud, and lies have crushed the unfortunate. But if I'm crushed by the system of influence and misdirected power, my cause shall rise again to plague the conscience of the corrupt. For this I'm happy to suffer and even die, for I will write the history for the millions that are coming, and leave the posterity to reckon with the host for the deeds of their fathers. They just laugh at you, return the laughter to them. If they mimic you, return the compliment with equal force. They have no more right to dishonor, disrespect, and disregard your feeling in manhood than you have in dealing with them. Honor them when they honor you, disrespect and disregard them when they vilely treat you. Their arrogance is but skin deep, an assumption that has no foundation in morals or in law.
Yes. Good evening, all my South Orange Maplewood listeners, and all those other listeners in the towns of Melbourne, Livingston, Irvington, West Orange, East Orange, Orange, and Newark. Welcome to In the Village with Anselm and Marjorie on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience, and live on the World Wide Web at somore.org, and the only radio show covering all your news, opinions, politics, talk, and sports happening in the South Orange Maplewood and surrounding communities. You can listen to us every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. and reach us at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626 to participate in the discussion. As usual, we have an interesting program lined up for you this evening, and we look forward to your participation in the discussion. Marjorie Lloyd.
Anselm LeBourne, hi.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's been a long time.
How was that vacation?
Yeah, well, it was hard. I mean, it was wonderful. How's that? I spent time with my mother. I cleaned her house. And cleaned and cleaned and cleaned.
Did you take your son with you?
No, my son is in Atlanta. So
he's in school?
Yes.
Okay. So you went all by your lonesome?
All by myself, as usual.
You cleaned up the house and everything?
Cleaned the house. It was cold, just like it was here. Blustery.
In Detroit, right? Detroit.
Outside of Detroit. Just outside. There's a distinction between Detroit.
We say Detroit. Is it Detroit?
It's Detroit. Just
why can it be Detroit, D-E?
Why you... It's like, am I supposed to respond to that? For the non-Detroiters, it's Detroit.
It's Detroit. Okay, okay. For us foreigners, it's Detroit.
Yes, for all the people who outside of Detroit, they say Detroit.
So you had a good time. I was with your mother.
It was, it was interesting. It's interesting dealing with an aging person. Yeah, my mother's 88.
How old is 88? That's pretty good.
She's 88.
Yeah, my mother's 84. Yeah, she's on her own. She can do.
She's on her own. She's in the house by herself. I went and visited my aunt, who probably, I guess, 91 or 2 or something, and it was hard. Just looking at a bunch of broken down people. At first, when I got home, I was excited, but that didn't last long. After going into Detroit and seeing the way it looks for people there.
What do you mean the way it looks for people?
Well, I had to go visit on the second night there. My ex-boyfriend, when I was 15, 16, 17, better yet, his sister called to tell me their mother died. So I had to go out to another city or town, or Romulus, Michigan, near the airport. And, their family, this one's got this ailment, that one's sick, that one's been hit by a car. And then I took him back where he lives in Detroit and drove through abandoned streets.
You rented a car?
Huh?
You rented a car?
No, I took my mother's cars.
Okay.
A friend of mine picked me up.
Your mother still drive?
No, the car is just in the garage. And I drove him back.
What type of car she got?
Toyota Camry or something like that.
Oh, so he just sits in the garage whenever you go home?
My brother lives there for the most part, but he is in another country right now. So
okay. So whenever he comes home.
Yeah.
Okay.
So... It was just, just to see the abandonment and the, I don't know, just a bad situation. The fiberglass, plexiglass buildings, rooms and inside of every business, the chicken shack, the grocery store. Not the grocery store, it's the...
Chicken shack?
You know what a chicken shack is?
I don't know what that is.
Well, chicken shacks are, I guess I learned this from this area, local term for places where you stop in the hood and get fried chicken and fried fish. So they call them
not a Chinese joint. It's run by black people.
In Detroit, almost everything is run by either by Arabs. So
in really?
Yes, it's the highest population of Arabs.
They
in the
run
United
chicken
States.
joints too.
They run chicken joints, the party store, what we would call here on this side of the world a bodega, everything.
Wow.
We go to the mall and in Dearborn, Michigan, where most of these Arabs live, a lot of them Lebanese and Iraqis, and things are in English and in Arabic.
Wow, we don't run anything.
Well, I guess
not even the liquor stores.
No, I don't know what I heard this argument over and over from people in Michigan saying that yes, this might be a black city, but we don't own anything.
But that's not just Detroit. That's not Detroit.
That's a worldwide.
That's worldwide, all over.
Yeah.
In Trinidad at one point in time, we used to have a lot of. Oh, maybe we still do, but it was problematic too. So what do you want to address locally? You want to?
Well, I was listening to the meeting on Monday. Very brave of you, and it was a pretty interesting meeting. Teacher after teacher came out against IB, and people talked about the coach.
Yeah, they need to
I don't know if anybody said anything about Park and what was a resolution on that.
There wasn't any specific resolution, but it appears to me that they need to get rid of that IB. It ain't working.
It's only been in existence, what, X number of years?
It's not working. I'm not saying, that's not what I'm saying. This is what the teachers are saying. This is what they are talking about. And Maplewood and 2 schools in Maplewood, we had the only schools in New Jersey that have IB program.
Yeah, so I remember very hard when that woman
I'm like
was petitioning to get this brought into the schools. This was actually, I believe, part of their deleveling program. This is how they deleveled the schools by to bring in this IB project. It was part of the whole
it's been
deal.
in existence for over 3 years now.
Yeah, not 12.
3
Probably
years.
about 3 years.
It was implemented in 2012. So it's not working. Get rid of it.
How long? Well, I mean, I don't know. I'd like to hear or read the article if I can find it.
Okay. 8 Maplewood Middle School teachers, this is in the Village Green. Teachers ask South Orange Maplewood districts to stop funding IB. 8 middle school teachers voice complaints about the International Baccalaureate Middle Years Program implementation at the South Orange Maplewood Board of Education meeting on Monday night and asked the program to be defunded. The teachers said they had made good faith efforts to implement the program and even admired its goals, but that ultimately they found that it was bringing no added value, was wasting their time and that of their students, and was bleeding resources from the district that was sorely needed elsewhere. I mean, we're not going to read the whole thing, but in March 2012, the Board of Education adopted the IB Middle Years program for the middle school. IB was introduced to the middle schools during the 6th grade class in 2013-2014, according to the district website. IB MYP will help the district ensure that learning in the middle school is rigorous, based on student inquiry, and what we call transdisciplinary, which means that learning is across subjects and transcends traditional content areas. Mm-hmm. Susan Barry, an 8th grade language arts teacher at Maplewood Middle School, who has been teaching in the district for 41 years. That's 4 decades and a year. Told the Board of Education on Monday night that while she found many strengths in IB, it was not a solution to the current problem at Maplewood Middle School. She noted that MMS is a focus school with many struggling readers, writers, and mathematicians. What they need most are programs designed to meet them where they are to move them to the next level. And the next and the next. I don't believe IB is that program. And that leads me to say, Marjorie, that imagine this. Since 2012, our kids have been doing bad due to this IB program.
They were probably doing bad before that.
Well, they're doing worse now. But which kids do you think this program will affect the most?
Go ahead. I mean, I know what you're baiting at. I know
I'm not baiting you for anything.
Like, you're
I'm just
trying to pull the string.
I'm just trying to ask you a question.
In a positive way or in a negative way will it affect?
Which kids will it affect?
It should affect all of them.
The most in a negative way.
I don't know, Anselm.
Okay, so I let me answer for you.
Go ahead. Go ahead and answer.
The kids of color. And some of the teachers actually said it. That instead of narrowing the achievement gap, what the IB has done is expand the achievement gap. And that's understood. It's no different than what the Common Core is going to do. It's no different. So we want to jump high, jump low, and think that these programs, this is business. And the teachers told you, we got to go to these seminars. She had to pay $400 of her own money, in addition to the $800 the school district was paying, right? So you pay $1,200. And when you finish, they tell you, well, you need to do another seminar. It's business. They're not in the business of trying to make these kids better, to educate these kids. For these
but
kids
the
to
internet,
improve.
first, is a middle years program. That's what MYP stands for. It's a middle years program of the International Baccalaureate. So it's a precursor to something that isn't completed once it goes into the high school, because the high school isn't having this program. I mean, I understand.
What's the what? You see, this is the part of the problem I have in this school district.